Hello everyone, welcome to Cloud Institution. So today in this video we are going to discuss about Terraform variables. Okay, so in this session what are we going to do is that we are going to create one EC2 instances and we are going to declare the Terraform variables and we are going to see how the Terraform variables are going to work with the Terraform EC2 instances, and then so we are going to see then how the Terraform variables are creating with the different values, right? So let's get straight into the terminal. Okay, so if you can see in the last video we have seen how to create a EC2 instance, right? So if you can see here, so we have created a EC2 instances, just a web, and this is AMA ID. Okay, so if you can see the Terraform variables, right? So the tag is going to be cloud institution. So if you can see Terraform plan against this one. Okay, so Terraform plan is going to be this one, right? Like this is going to create and the resource which is AWS instance, which is kind of a web. Okay, so web instance, and then it's going to be AMI is going to be this one and this one, right? So now we are going to declare, so it's going to be everything is working fine. Okay, so now we are going to declare about so what is Terraform variable step by step. Okay, so what we're going to declare step by step. For now I'm going to comment it out, and I'm going to do a variable dot so AMI ID. Okay, so this is what something I'm going to do. Okay, so variable dot AMI ID. Okay, so I'm just variabilizing it. Okay, but the Terraform doesn't know what is the variable that have to be providing for this particular particular variable, okay, because it's been commented out. Okay, I'm just commenting it out for some kind of a for time being. So the next one is that instance type. Okay, instance type is going to be, okay, again I'm going to be where dot. Okay, I'm just copying pasting this one. Okay, where dot instance type. Okay, so now everything is good, right? Okay, it's all good because we have just variabilized it. Okay, now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to do a Terraform plan again and see how this variable is giving. So if you can see, how many of you thinking that this is going to give me an error because it's just showing me that so assuming error and no declaration found for where.ami the Terraform. Okay, so the quick fix is available. Okay, so here also the same thing, right? So no declaration found for instance type. Now if you can see, how are we going to fix this one? Okay, and let's do Terraform plan again. So we have already done kind of a Terraform instances, like so we have already done kind of a Terraform init and all these things for the Terraform EC2 instances. So now what is going to be telling me is that so input variable with the name AMI ID is not been declared. All right, so what is telling is that input ID for the AMI ID is not been declared. Okay, so this variable can be declared with the AMI ID this block. So it's giving me suggestion that, okay, so I can just declare the AMI ID something like this one. Okay, I'm going to try this one. Okay, so I'm just copying this one because this is kind of a step-by-step operations, right? I can just declare directly. I can show it to you how it works, but I wanted to show you how we can eliminate all this kind of errors and how are you reaching the proper way of declarations. So I'm giving AMI ID, but so we need to add this one also, variable AMI ID this block. Okay, so this one, right? Okay, so the same thing is good. Now if you can do Terraform plan again, I think it'll be giving the same thing for instance types also. Okay, so AMI ID is asking for the variable. Okay, so what is the variable we have for AMI ID? The variable is going to be this one. Okay, I'm going to paste this one. Okay, it's all good. Now it's just containing me for instance types also. Okay, I'm going to give for instance types, so the same way. Okay, so variable dot instance types. Okay, so now it's good. If we go to Terraform plan again, okay, it's asking me for AMI ID. Okay, AMI ID is going to be this one again. Okay, so instance type is going to be tutor.micro. All right. Okay, so now the plan is successful. Just like how we have have that Terraform plan at the earliest. Okay, so now everything looks good. Okay, so everything looks good, so all the Terraform plan is applying. But is this the way are we going to declare this variable? Okay, so I don't want Terraform to be asking me for any kind of a prompt just like this one, because if you're running from CI/CD pipelines and everything, there should not be, we don't have any kind of options to give input variables. Okay, so for that what we have to do is that, so in this way, so we have to give kind of a default. Okay, default is going to be this one. Okay, I'm giving default is going to be this one, and then so for here, okay, I'm going to give default is going to be AMI ID. Okay, so now what is going to be happening now? So when you do a Terraform plan again, okay, so now it's going to be taking a default value, whatever you have been mentioning in this one. So it's not going to be, it's not going to ask you for any kind of a Terraform prompt. Okay, this is how you're going to be declaring these variables. Okay, so in the future classes, we are going to discuss about more, more Terraform variables. How are we going to discuss? How are we going to display? How are we going to declare with a very, the different kind of strings and all these things, right? So here, what we can also do is that, we can also mention. Okay, so now everything is working fine. Okay, so we have, so is it this is not something, so how we are declaring this one? So the best way of declaring the variables is that just cut. Okay, so just cut this, uh, and then go to clear new file, and then variables.tf. Okay, I'm going to give variables.tf, but the that file name doesn't matter. You can also give vars.tf also. Oh, okay, I think I didn't copy it. Maybe I'm going to do control Z, control Z. Okay, I'm going to cut it, and I'm going to paste it in here. Okay, so now everything is there. Okay, this is the way you are going to structure the Terraform. So the whatever the variables are there, it has to be go inside this variable TF, and then whatever the the instance resource types are there, it should go inside the resource type variables. Okay, so now everything looks good, and if you can do Terraform plan, it works fine. Okay, but we need to specify the type of the variables, right? So here the default value is this one. So what is the type? Type is going to be, so what is this one? This is going to be string, right? Okay, so type is going to be string. So now I'm just mentioning is going to be string. Good. Now instance type is going to be a string again. Okay, so now the type is going to be string again. Oh, sorry. Um, okay, so now if you can go and do a Terraform plan again. Okay, so what is saying? So Terraform earlier requests the consider given is quotes. Okay, so but from the Terraform deprecated, and remove the quotes and around the string. So this is what it's been telling, that you can remove the quotes from this type. Okay, so there are very few small things you have to be considering this when you're running a Terraform. Okay, so I do Terraform plan, is all good. Okay, so now I've created two variables, and then the type is going to be string, and then the default is going to be this one. So why this type is very important? Okay, so we are not allowing the user to provide the input variables which is not string. Okay, so for example, if you can give a number here. Okay, if you can give a number. Okay, so now, but the default value I'm mentioning is that is going to be a string. Now if I can give a Terraform plan, okay, what's going to happen? Okay, it's going to be telling me that The default value is not compatible with the variable's types constraints. The number is required. Okay, so this is the reason why whenever you're giving a Terraform, the Terraform type, the variable type, it has to be exactly matching with the variables whatever you have to be giving. Okay, so this is what kind of a variables basics, right? So whenever you wanted to give kind of a string, and you have to be giving a string alone. Okay, so now it's a string, and okay, so now it's going to be in the proper way. I want to do Terraform plan again. Is all working good. Okay, so there is no problem with that. You can do Terraform apply to see Terraform apply to see if this particular the variable has been creating. Okay, if you can give yeah, sorry, you have to give yes instead of y. Okay, so you have to give yes, then the AWS instance will be creating. Okay, so this is how we are going to be working with the Terraform variables. Okay, so this is kind of a very basic Terraform variables. How are you going to the deploy? So if you want to learn more about the Terraform variables, so we are going to see in the future classes that how are we going to see the Terraform variables, and all the how are we going to give the different way of Terraform variables and everything. Okay, so and thank you so much for watching this video, and let's meet again in the next video with more variables kind of concepts. Okay, so thank you.